Welcome, hockey fans, to another edition of the Wolves Hockey Show. We bring you weekly highlights, clips, news, information, and much more on the Wolves program. Pretty great weekend last weekend, Coach, huh?
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, we're going to do a little bit different show today. We have a different guest than normal, and we have a lot of stuff coming up with tryouts. So I think it's important to talk about some of the stuff that we do differently in our program. Now, Coach, you're the Director of Player Development. You do skills for our junior teams, but you also do skills for all our youth teams. Tell me a little bit about what you try to accomplish with the skills program we have with the Wolves.
Yeah, so I'm trying to take the players through every aspect of kind of technical training for ice hockey. So, skating, puck handling, shooting, passing, kind of all the necessary skills that we need to play the game.
That's great, and I think that's one of the things that's overlooked in a lot of programs. You can have, let's say, 3 team practices a week, and that can make your team better, but it's important also to develop those skills on an individual basis, and I think here in the Wolves program we do a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, thanks. We're trying to build up the guys, progression through the season, right? So we're building upon the skills that we've worked at from the beginning of the season, and now come February, this is things that the guys have been doing since they've been here in August, September, and I think you can start to see that translate onto the ice. And like you said, that we're it's not just with the older players, but starting all the way with the youngest players in our program, so that they can do it practice by practice throughout a whole season, and then also upon as they get older, year after year. And to me, that's kind of how you develop a player.
Couldn't agree more. We have a clip we're actually going to show you of one of our recent skill days.
So we progress our skills throughout the week. Here's a skating puck handling drill Coach did with Robbie Hake, who's a SUNY Morrisville commit. Excellent skating defenseman. Here's a shooting drill with Ricard Jelensky, who's one of the leading scorers in the EHLP. Puck skills here, one of the stations, that's Tommy Condon. He should be making a decision on his college commitment soon. He's a 99 from Long Island, New York. Here's a shooting station. It's newly acquired Donnie Feldman here, shooting pucks towards the cage. Coach Bates works a lot with the kids with shooting each week. And I think he does a great job with not only teaching the fundamentals, but making them game-like situations where you're shooting pucks in a kind of a game-like fashion. Here's the same drill on the opposite side. So players, whether they're a righty or a lefty, they're able to see pucks from different angles, make plays, and work on that fundamental ability of how to score goals. This is Mike Campbell from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And finishing up our last skill drill here, that's newly acquired Dalton Carl making a play on Oliver Quinn.
Nice video clip there, Coach. And then, as we do the skills, it's all about preparation for the games. So this past weekend, there's a bunch more games in our program. I'm going to start with the U14.
Yeah, the U14's had a great weekend. They've now won 9 straight. We couldn't ask for better results heading into the playoffs. They defeated the Max Pro Jets on Sunday 7-2, and they defeated on Saturday the New England Stars 5-1. We got some clips we're going to show you right now.
Great save here by Paolo Vasquez. Here's one of the 7 goals from Sunday. Great net front, great finish. Wolves won 7-2.
The U14 team is rocking and rolling. They're doing great. Coach, tell me about the 16s.
So 16s had 2 games this past weekend against Semang, Canadian team. They split those games. They lost the first game 8-5, but then followed that up with a win 3-2.
And that'll be great now as they head towards the playoffs next weekend. They actually play in the first round matchup Semang again, so to get that win on Sunday, it should be pretty good for them going into the playoffs here.
Yeah, I like their chances.
Absolutely.
Our junior teams were both in action. Maybe you could start with Premier Team.
Yeah, the EHLP had 1 game this weekend. They played at home on Sunday versus the New Hampshire Avalanche. It was a great game, back and forth. An unbelievable finish to the contest, and the Wolves were able to pull it out 5-4. And we got some clips we're going to show you right now.
So it was a 0-0 contest in the first period against the Avalanche on Sunday. Early in the second period, though, the Wolves would get on the board first. Jonah Pickens from Florida makes a great play to get the puck to Ricard Jelensky, who 1-times it. Wolves take a 1-0 lead here. Third period action. Wolves went into the third period down 2-1. They tied it on a power play goal, 2-2. And then they had this goal. A couple shifts later, they get a face-off win, they get the puck to the net, and Jonah Pickens again, right on the doorstep, makes a great play to put it in the back of the net. Wolves are at a 3-2 lead right now. And here's our finish. After a scoreless overtime, goes to the shootout. Nate Corwin makes an unbelievable play to finish the contest. Wolves won the shootout on that goal and 3 saves by Carson Gates, 5-4.
So Carson Gates was great yesterday. He stopped all 3 pucks in the shootout. He made a number of nice saves in the overtime period. And the team really responded well to different situations over the course of the game. Coach, tell me about the EHL team.
So EHL had a game both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we were at home against Valley Warriors. We lost 3-2, also in a shootout. Team really ran into a hot goalie that game. On Sunday we played the first place team, Boston Junior Rangers, down in Tewksbury, Mass. After going down 4-0 in the first period, we came back, we tied it 4-4, went on to lose 6-4. But pretty good 2 periods out of 3 on Sunday as well.
Yeah. We'll get some clips we're going to show you right now.
So here we have a clip from Saturday's home game against Valley. Wolves were on the power play. This is Matt Amonte getting a pass from Kevin Bite and a great shot and a great screen by Sean O'Gorman in front. Just cut the lead to 2-1. So this next play is from Sunday's game against Boston Junior Rangers. This goal was part of a 4-goal comeback in the second period. Again, Matt Amonte, 2-on-1, made a great pass to Sean O'Gorman, last week's guest on the show, and a nice goal to finish it off.
So as we've been saying all season long, that Northern Conference of the EHL is so tightly contested. On any given night, any team can beat anybody, and you ran into some pretty hot goaltenders this weekend. Kyle Penton and Billy Gerard are some of the better goalies in the league. Coach, what's your thoughts and reflections on the EHL team this past weekend?
Yeah, so 2 games, 6 periods. I think we probably played 5 good periods on the weekend. Like you said, some really hot goaltenders, but especially given the past couple weeks and with the flu running through the team, it's a pretty good result for us this weekend. And 4 games left in the regular season. Just have to make sure we're going full steam for playoffs.
Yeah, and you got a lot of guys who are making some college decisions coming up soon. So there's a lot of positives heading into the final home stretch here for the EHL team.
Yeah, definitely. I think mostly we're looking forward to playing with a full lineup here next weekend.
That helps, absolutely. Now, one guy who knows a lot about junior hockey here in Laconia will be our next interview guest, Bill Jennison. So here we have a familiar face we see at the Merrill Fay Arena. For people coming down the rink, they see this face often in the pro shop or on the Zamboni. Bill Jennison, welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to have you here, and I think you're going to be able to give a little insight. We normally have a player on during this segment, but this is a nice, fresh face to have.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely. So now, give me your background. How did you get your start in coming to the rink, and how did you get your start in hockey, Bill?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it short. I retired 5 years ago, and when I retired, I spoke with the rink manager, and I said I wanted to drive the Zamboni. He said, well, that's all right, but you got to clean toilets too. So I've been with the rink now for 6 seasons. Hockey, I grew up within walking distance of a rink when I was a kid, so it's been a part of my life for quite some time.
Where was that?
That was in Walpole, New Hampshire, just north of Keene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Keene is one of the new teams in the league next year. We can get to that in a later segment. But,
Sure.
Now, you have a tremendous rapport with the European players. They come into the building, and you'll throw out a piece of Russian language. There's a different language that usually gets a smile out of the kids, but I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I got to admit, English is my first language. And I know just a little bit of Russian. And it's just kind of neat when I throw something out there. And I can make them raise their eyebrows, and they give me a big smile. And they're like, who's this old man at the rink that can speak Russian? And it's pretty basic. It's like, good morning, guys, how you doing? But something like that, and it's different for them. I'm sure it doesn't happen at every rink that they walk into.
Absolutely. Now, so who are some of your favorite players that you've seen come play junior hockey here in Laconia?
Well, when I first started with the Leafs, kind of an odd start to my my career, so to speak. I was actually watching a game, and honestly, the refereeing was awful. And I guess I was pretty vocal about it because the coach at that time for the Leafs asked his medical director who the loudmouth was in the bleachers, and Tomo was like, "Hey, that's Wild Bill. I know him. I play hockey with him. You want me to go ask him if he wants to work for the team? He's an EMT." So I started doing medical stuff with the Leafs. Probably, yeah, I guess I worked for them about 12 years.
Okay.
One of the players that comes to mind, Tim Kaufman, skated with the Leafs in 2008, and he led the league in scoring that year, and he was also named most valuable player for the Leafs. Tim went on to Utica College, and he currently holds the scoring record at the college, and he's playing pro hockey now in Switzerland.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, who are some of your favorite players to watch now? You got, you got every with the Wolves now. You have everything from our U10 up to Coach King's U20 teams. So a lot of kids to watch. But
Exactly.
Who are your favorites?
Well, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of the youth program, but with your EHL team, a couple of names come to mind. DJ Schwenke and Jack Loran are a couple of players that really piqued my interest. They'll go somewhere.
Nice.
With the EHLP team, Herbert Zebots, and one in particular, Noah Worth. He's a local boy, and it's been interesting to watch him come up through the various programs,
Yep.
and to see him excel right now for a game that he really loves is good.
Absolutely. He's come a long way. He's one of the kind of success stories where he started on our first ever split season U16.
Yes.
And then he played for a high school team that really struggled, but he battled through it, and now he's having that success. So it's a nice story.
It is. Real good.
Absolutely. Now, what is some of your favorite hockey moments, or your junior hockey moments that you've seen?
Wow. I guess one of the most exciting ones was last year, knowing that the EHLP team won the championship for the league. Means a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Now, what are some of your favorite games? You remember any particular? Or?
I really don't. They all seem to blend together after 6 years, of watching junior hockey.
You've probably seen about 1,000 by now.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen a lot of kids come through the programs over the years.
Absolutely. Now, for those people out in Laconia who may be watching this broadcast, and who haven't come to the rink before, what would you say to the people who haven't tried hockey before or want to experience something at the rink?
Well, there's so many great programs that are offered at the Merrill Fay Arena. We've got the youth hockey program. There's 2 high school teams. There's the 2 junior teams. I think there's 4 adult hockey leagues, including 1 women's only team, as well as public skating that we have. There is a figure skating club that comes to the rink to do their program. And just there's a lot at the rink that maybe the public doesn't know about. One thing that's been very popular over the last 2 or 3 years is what we call the Meltdown. And it's a kind of a disco themed night for young teenagers. And it seems to be a big hit.
Absolutely. Well, there's all great reasons to come down to the rink. And when you do, you'll certainly see a smiling face and Bill Jennison either in the pro shop or on the Zamboni or doing something else, but always making the rink a better place.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming on, Bill.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. That was a fun interview with Bill Jennison. It's a familiar face of the rink. Kids see him all the time, but not everybody gets to know him a little bit, and it's a fun guy to get to know.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a good change of pace for the interview, so.
Absolutely.
Now we have a lot of games coming up next weekend. Maybe we could start U14s.
Yeah, the U14s have, I think, their last game here before the NEPHL playoffs. They play the Concord Capitals, which is a great local rivalry. Definitely points we want to get. They play them Sunday at 11:25, right down in Concord. Coach, tell me what's going on with the U16s.
So U16s will be starting their playoffs for the United Tier 1 Hockey League. So they'll, as we mentioned earlier in the show, they'll be taking on Semang Academy. And should be a good weekend of hockey for those guys.
Absolutely, and that's some great competition they got. The teams in that tournament are stuff like, Seacoast Spartans, which have a great Tier 1 program, the Avalanche, Bridgeton Academy, teams from Quebec like Semang. So it's some great competition. And if you're a local kid who's getting that kind of competition on a weekly basis, you're going to become a better hockey player pretty quick.
Absolutely, absolutely, and definitely a good chance for some of those guys to progress to the junior level, possibly as soon as next season.
Absolutely.
Speaking about juniors, I know both teams are in action this weekend.
Yeah.
What's the Premier have?
EHLP has 2 games. We're back to full schedule of games. We have Saturday down in Hooksett. We play the Avalanche again, which we just played on Sunday. That'll be a really important game for us. And then we have a home game against the Walpole Express on Sunday at 2:15. Those are all conference games, so they're points we want to get as we jockey position here as we head towards the playoffs. Coach, what's on for the EHL team?
So EHL only has 1 game this weekend. It's Sunday down in Walpole against Walpole Express. Is a team that I think we're tied for on points right now. So in terms of playoff picture, it should be an important game this weekend.
Now, every time you played Walpole, it's either been a 1 or 2 goal game. What are some of the things that we really need to get done on Sunday? What are things that we need to target and do heading into Sunday?
Yeah, I think just making sure that we have a complete effort for the game. I think like the last game, we had a bad first period, and definitely to have a full 60 minutes effort on Sunday. It'll be a playoff type mentality for this game on Sunday.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to all the playoff action we have coming up, it also coincides with tryout season. We have our recently announced U10 and U12 tryouts at Plymouth State. Coach, tell me a little bit about that playoff and those teams and those tryouts.
Yeah, so with the U10 and U12, the tryouts are April 3rd and 4th at Plymouth State University. Those are the tournament teams. With those teams, you're practicing once a month and then playing 3 to 4 tournaments. And really, those teams have had players from Central and Northern New Hampshire, from a bunch of different towns. So it's good to see the different talent come together for those teams, and looking forward to see all the players who come out for the tryouts in April.
Absolutely. And one of the other overlooked things is, hockey is a social game too. And as the coach of the U10 team, we have kids from Berlin, we have kids from Concord, we have kids from Hanover, and they're building these relationships. So they go back to their teams, they go back to their games on a weekend, and then when they have to play those same kids, there's a real camaraderie, and it's a fun model that we're pursuing there with the U10, U12.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's been a good first year so far.
Absolutely. Now we do have a special announcement. We want to wish a happy birthday to Landon McDonald. He's always at the rink rooting on the Wolves. He's one of the biggest Wolves fans out there. And he's also good friends with Ollie, too.
Yeah, big time rink rat, Landon. Big fan of the Wolves, so happy birthday.
Now, Coach, for more information?
Yeah, as always, we could check out the Wolves website, ne-wolveshockey.com. More information on the team and also for all tryouts at all levels.